And beautifully, beautifully read. Well, our speaker today and our musician, Lawrence Kirby, is a very gifted guitarist with an amazing voice. It's deep and richly textured, sort of like mahogany. But his talents also extend into the culinary domain. He's an amazing barbecue chef. And when the barbecue lets him down, he even knows how to fix it. So I am so thrilled today to welcome Lawrence, and I'm sure we'll all have a wonderful time listening to him. Lawrence, take it away.
Hi there, this is a song called Know Your God. Would know your God if you would know your love. Only look inside. Only look deep inside. If you would know your heart, if you would know your love, only go down deep, only go deep inside. If you would know your God, if you would know your heart, if you would know your love, only look inside. Only go Now, if you would like to take a moment to get comfortable in your chairs or whatever position you might be in today, let us take a deep, welcoming breath of air. Place our hands flat on our laps, palms preferably facing upward. Here we take another deep breath. And if you will, close your eyes. Imagine for a moment, about 2 feet above your head, there is a sun. Maybe the sun the size of a basketball. This is a holographic version of the real sun, which bathes Earth every day, providing heat and energy for the growth of all life on our planet. From the sun that is 2 feet above your head, a stream of white light is going to enter your top of your crown. It's going to do this on every breath, and as it does so, as it touches the top of your head, you might feel a slight tingle. As it spreads over the top of your head, this light circumferences your head, and a small opening at the top of your head allows this beautiful white light to enter your head. As it enters your head, it fills your brain, it fills your pituitary, connects to your pineal, and illuminates your entire brain, your brain stem, and your entire nervous body. Each breath adds more light, and now your whole head, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your eyes are filled with beautiful white light. And the next deep breath brings the light through the shoulders, down the arms, to the end of the fingers. And with the next breath, the beautiful white light flows down the spine, illuminating each vertebrae, all the muscles of the chest cavity, the heart, the lungs, the vital organs, the intestines, now to the coccyx, and now to the hips, to the thighs, illuminating all the bone structure, to the knees, from the knees to the calves, to the ankles, to the feet, and to the toes. Gently underneath the feet is a small cork, and we're going to pull the cork out and allow a liquid black substance out. And this will represent thought forms, feelings, maybe called negative, that no longer need to be stored in our bodies. This will trickle out And we'll ask the Holy Spirit to go ahead, take this energy, for she knows what to do with it, and she will disseminate it where it is useful. Once this is done, we will return our gaze to the sun above our heads again. And now with the next breath, the light will descend back to the top of the skull. And since we've opened the gateway, the light will now cascade like liquid light through the body, through the same pathway with each breath. And here I allow you to fill your body with the Holy Spirit. And as we do so, we enter silence. Maybe by now you can feel the white light illumination, your spirit quickened, your next beautiful breath fulfilling every cell of your body, every atom, every quark neutrino, every particle of the quantum you, every particle of the you that is love. And in the next breath, you can feel it emanating outward through every pore of your body into your immediate surroundings, maybe 2 feet all around you. And with the next breath, your room. And with the next breath, your home. And with the next breath, your community. And now we give this direction, love, and light to the Holy Spirit to continue forward and out through us into our world, our universe, and creation. And we enter the silence. And when you're ready, slowly bring your attention back into your physical body. Maybe open your eyes. Perhaps Move your fingers, your toes. Take a couple of deep breaths. Welcome yourself home to your now loving body. Well, welcome everyone to Father's Day. What a thing that this Father's Day is. It's a beautiful celebration of the extension of creation into the world. Here, we can imagine the very first Father's Day ever, when the Creator extended herself into the first reflection of her being, outward from within, encompassing and imbuing life into the universes, allowing her creations to create, even as is the way of the Creator. That day is still ever ongoing and eternal, and we, her children, get to celebrate the eternal truth that is true always. We too are allowed to extend her life force into our creations and into our families. God, the Father. That life force is continued ad infinitum and is reflected in all things. I'd like to describe the Father as, from the pages of 71 and 72 of the Revealing Word by Charles Fillmore, one of the initiating founders of the Unity movement. God, through His Holy Spirit, is the Father. Father and Son, the Father mind, is the living principle, the Absolute, the Great Unlimited. The Son is the living Word. Father principle, the exact and immutable principle of being, lying back of all existing as cause, and approachable only along the lines of perfect law. Just give me a second, I need to do some adjusting on my page here. It is omnipresent and is not subject to change or argument. Impersonal, egoless, unquestionable, unconditional love. This is the love that allows all things to be. Also from the Revealing Word, Absolute, the Divine Mind, Unlimited Principle, the Almighty One, the all-pervading Spirit, the Infinite, the Eternal, the Supreme Being. These, of course, are descriptions of our Divine Father, Mother Principle of all life. Creative Mind, the source of all things, that which is unconditioned, unlimited, unrestricted, and free of all limitations. The self-existent God. The Son is created as the Father's own extension, and we are all the Son. I'd like to insert here that there's a term called the sonship, which is spoken of in a book called The Course in Miracles, as well as another book called The Way of Mastery. And both these are channeled works by what we would call Jesus of Nazareth. He quotes himself as being Yeshua ben Joseph David. And this theme of these statements, the Son is created as the Father's own extension, and we are all the Son, is encapsulated in the term sonship. The ability to create with free will is the direct inheritance. As in the story of the prodigal son, we created with our inheritance the opportunity to experience limitation, as we experience the world now, in the field of the material reality, and became enamored with our creation. Over aeons of time in this realm of matter, we gave up our awareness of the intimate, eternal connection of spirit we are all one with. And as such, Jesus came to remind us that this and our oneness with our Creator is often referring to God as Abba, and Abba being the sacred name of God. One of the Unity founders, Charles Fillmore, in the book The Revealing Word, states, Abba, a word of endearment signifying Father. It is only as we come to know our sonship, our true relation to God, that we enter into the consciousness of love and tender affiliation with Spirit, signified by the word Abba. In the Shanti Crystal Foundation's book, The Way of Mastery, Joshua ben Joseph David plainly states, our awakening is the remembering the truth that is true always, and that will bring about the peace on earth, the era of heaven on earth. That is that. Only love is real, and as God, Abba is love, and all that is created by God is love. Then we know our true being is indeed love. Our essence is love. To know this, we have journeyed into everything unlike love to experience for ourselves, as in the prodigal son, to gain the wisdom and fulfillment to decide, to return our minds, to desire to be as we were created to be, love, and at one with our Creator. To help us on our return to full awareness and to heal our self-judgments, our Father, Mother, Principal, Creator sent His whole I Spirit to guide us. When we are ready to decide again to know love as is the truth in all that is. Father's Day is the ongoing awakening of the sonship, each of us, to that realization that only love is real, and we are that. As above, so below. We can only create as within the eternal spirit to extend ourselves into creation, experiencing to gain wisdom, to be fulfilled, to know, all of this as felt emotion, to continue to refine our choices via preferring ever more loving creating, till we become fully awakened in the whole I spirit, no longer as a separate I, but as an I and the Father are one. This brings us to practical, conscious loving, unconditional service. Learning from the ultimate giver to extend only what is real, and that is love. Unconditional love means service to others is loving myself, and as such, being the love that is God in expression. Today, I am birthing Christ. So that's the very dry aspect of getting my mind wrapped around what I'm doing here, who I am as a created being of God, and the God, the Father principle, Mother principle of all life. I am that extension of love. I'd like to talk about just how we celebrated in the past and the present Father's Day in the sort of understanding that we do here as families here. And just a couple of things I got from Wikipedia. In the Catholic European countries, it's been celebrated on March 19th since the Middle Ages. There's about 111 plus countries that celebrate Father's Day. Europeans have dates in April, March, and June, depending on the country of origin's customs. And March 19th was the Catholic Father's Day brought to Latin America by the Spanish and Portuguese many years ago. Americans and Canadians, that be us, celebrate it on the third Sunday in June, as well as do many European countries in these modern times. A little interesting thing about the millions of languages. Some versions of paternal acknowledgement in another language would be, some of you probably can't read this if you're on the phones, but it's Papa, Pater, Dad, and Yoika, that's Russian, Father, Pair, Papa, Tata. I got a couple symbols here that are Chinese and some Arabic ones. And then we've got Papeto, which I think is Portuguese, Fati, which is German, Papa, which could be French, and probably a few others. And then we've got Baba Chigim, which I believe is Turkish. I'm sure there's more. And I got a little picture here with the lion cub and the dad lion, and he says, "I love you, Pa." And we've probably heard that before. This brings me to the feeling of it, the love of the Father, and the word Father and its inferred meanings, where we understand the love of the Father, and we gain understanding from the early fathers presented as providers, breadwinners, protectors, disseminators of wisdom, guiding the family, representatives, role models, guardians of heritage. Here's a picture of my father who went to Cyprus while he was in the armed forces as part of a peacekeeping group for the UN, and Canada's representative in Cyprus during a time when there was Turkish and Cyprus conflict. They would patrol and they would keep the borders safe and hopefully not get hurt. My father adopted myself and my two sisters in 1960 and provided our home, our education, love, and stability after marrying my mother. This brings me to, how did this come? Well, my biological father, who met my mother overseas in Germany, had married my mother and had brought her back to Canada, and was unfortunately ill with alcoholism, and that caused a lot of hurt to my mother and a lot of hurt to our safety, and they had a separation. My mother's Catholic, so that was very difficult for her. But this loving man, this is my father that you see in this picture. His name is Dave. He married my mom and forthwith adopted 3 kids. And I am eternally grateful for that. Here's a picture of my father after open heart surgery in April 2014. Desiree and I hadn't been together very long, but we went and visited him in the hospital, and it was amazing how fast they can do that and how fast he got out of the hospital. This is a picture in the hotel that they were at, and he's just one beautiful soul. I am so grateful. Now, this next slide is about the modern day differences, how things have changed in our world. Maybe not so much. There might have been changes back in the old days too, but we're aware now that single moms can play dual roles. They represent both the father and the mother in their homes. There are single fathers doing the same, representing both the father and mother. There are stepdads who go into relationships of blended families and take on maybe a different type of fatherhood, but there to help support in some of the other ideas of providing. There are absentee fathers, those who are not allowed to, but they can financially support, but they're not allowed to engage in the rearing of the children. There are biological fathers. I'm one of those. And my father, my birth father, is also one of those. Governments as fathers of the nation, founding fathers like in the States and what we have here in Canada. Government agencies as guardians of children. Legal guardians that sometimes can be grandpas or aunts and uncles, depending on the circumstances in families, where kids need to be taken care of, where their original parents may not be available for any number of reasons. And here I introduce my son, Ryan. Ryan was born in 1960, a very beautiful child. His mom and I did not get married because she was very honest with me and said, she wasn't interested in being faithful. It's just not in her way. And as though she would have married me, she felt that, and I felt that it would be better if she went with the man that she didn't want to be with. And he was born in Nanaimo, and I met him a few months later. Her agreement with me, or our agreement together, was I was allowed to attend his birthdays, any special holidays that I could be available for, including Christmas. And over a long period of time, this beautiful young boy became a man. And this is a picture right here of us sharing a dinner at the Italia restaurant in downtown Vancouver, in the area which he lives in. And I just love this guy. Very talented, great sense of humor, and I'm looking forward to seeing him soon. And this comes to the most amazing event that happened this month. Probably the most amazing event that I could have experienced that I know as a miracle. On June 10th, I got up in the morning and I was looking at my phone because I was checking in on Messenger for a couple of people that I know in Calgary that are in comas, or one of them's out of the coma now, but the second one's still in it from COVID. They got the Delta 8 virus, which is the Indian virus, and they were subjected to being put in a coma so they could hopefully survive. And I was checking to see how they might be doing, and I noticed that there was a message that had come on May the 5th. Well, I had not had Messenger on my phone for quite a long time. There was issues with getting weird mails, so I just had only recently reinstated the Messenger on my phone, and I saw this message, and the message was from Ashley Marie. And very briefly, I'll just state that she had somehow was able to find me through Facebook. And she said that she was aware that I would be her father. She said basically who her mother was, and that she had come to look at a few pictures and noticed similarities, and had found how to contact me, and had sent me this messenger message. And since then, I've had a couple conversations with her, one on the phone and one on Zoom. What a beautiful soul. She has 5 children. She's married, lives in Bonnyville. And I can't tell you how much I moved. I did invite her to send me this picture, which she did. And I think she's awesome and beautiful. She's also a talented photographer. And she may be attending the service as well. We'll move on. I'd like to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, to all the mothers that do the father roles, the single mothers, to all those who are in blended families, to all those who love their children but were, by agreement, not going to be part of their growth or patterns of growth and upbringing. I'd like to say Happy Father's Day to my Creator, because I love you. And I'd like to say Happy Father's Day to the Unity Movement, which is a fathering of great love into our world. And with that, I'd like to play a song that I wrote and embedded so that you could hear it. The mountains, oh, the seas, the wind, the trees, oh, the creatures down below. The skies, oh, the clouds, the wind, the canyons, oh, the caves, oh, the deep, the sky, the trees, oh, the light, oh, the light, own life, the life of we, the life of I, the life you are. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? What can I tell you? Oh, what can I tell you? 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 'Cause now all your dreams are fulfilled. I am that one. I am that one. I am that one. I am that one. That one. That one. That one. That one.
Thank you, Lawrence, for that most heartwarming and inspiring message, and for your touching and delightful songs. Thank you.